is the next Fragrances India Private Limited is signing an MOU with the government of AP. announcing. So far, day 2 of the summit has been focused on showcasing Advantage Andhra Pradesh, where abundance meets prosperity, providing a platform for international and domestic investors, policymakers, diplomats from across countries, industry associations and trade bodies, providing all of them a platform to take advantage of our state's industry-friendly atmosphere and explore opportunities to forge partnerships. We don't start here, right? We start a little earlier because you have to say all of that.
Oops. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, may we request you to settle down. The Honorable Chief Minister is just going to be walking into the hall here. So, as a security protocol, we request you to please settle down, take your seats. The gentleman in the center, ma'am. Media people, media personnel, may we request you to please head back to the media enclosure. We need to start the valedictory and the valedictory ceremony. The Honorable Chief Minister is just walking in. Request for you to cooperate with the security personnel and the police personnel who've been working very hard to ensure this event goes smoothly. Yes, sir. We will. So, we cannot start until everyone settles down. I'm sure you understand the protocols. We did this yesterday as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, may we request you to settle down. Do ensure your mobile phones are on the silent mode. As you know, we are here on day 2 of the Andhra Pradesh Global Investors Summit 2023. It is being held in the beautiful port city of Visakhapatnam. Now, as you know, the theme of this summit is where abundance meets prosperity. It's been an amazing platform. We've heard from global investors, global partners, country partners. Yesterday, you know, Deepika, it's been a very exciting session. Besides the plenary hall here, where we had the inaugural session, we had a great lineup of speakers. We had breakaway sessions in 4 halls. The 13 sectors that are the key focus sectors of the government of Andhra Pradesh were focused on 14 sectors, in fact, actually, and we had in-depth sessions on all of that.
What's particularly good to see is that a lot of investors who've already invested in the state and seen how supportive the state is and how they have been able to go from abundance to prosperity have shared their lived experiences and reality with the state. So I'm sure that's been very encouraging for future investors.
Absolutely, and I remember you pointed it out yesterday where Mr. Puneet Dalmia, in fact, coined a very nice phrase.
Josh and Jaganji go hand in hand.
Absolutely, and that's the unique part about the Andhra Pradesh state government, you know, Deepika, because besides the CM, the whole cabinet is dynamic young leaders, and that is so much the need of the hour. They are quick, with their decisions. Ease of doing business is at an extreme high here.
Absolutely. They're young, they're focused, and you can see the action, you know. It's not just having a vision and having a plan, but everything is actually coming into fruition. And that's what's really, really encouraging, I'm sure, even for the investors gathered here signing MOUs and those who are still exploring areas of opportunity where they can forge partnerships.
Absolutely, you know, like I was telling you about the other sessions that were happening in the other halls. We got a great turnout. We had interesting sessions. There was a great panel discussions, keynote speeches, a lot of focus, a lot of in-depth insights. You know, that will also help in the improvement of. Not just, it will be a great partnership is what I'm seeing between the industry and the state government. So that is something that is definitely we should look forward to.
Also, as we started this day, I think in hall number 1, the Department of Tourism and Hospitality, Government of Andhra Pradesh, had already begun signing MOUs. And later on, we started in this plenary hall, we started to see MOUs being signed. A lot of them have been in the renewable energy sector. And I remember calling out myself yesterday that the government of Andhra Pradesh is set to drive that particular sector. I also liked one of the lines in one of the AVs that we displayed, that in Andhra Pradesh we don't predict the future, we own the future, which means we make things happen under the young and dynamic and visionary leadership of the Honorable Chief Minister. We don't predict the future, but we own it and make sure that it happens the way he's visioning it.
Absolutely. And you know, the important part, you know, Deepika, of because there are a lot of states that do these kind of summits. But it's all, you know, like they say in English, there is the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So, but it's important to see, and what's also important is, like I said, you know, like we were talking about how the leadership is dynamic and fast moving. They take fast decisions, which is most important. There is not red tapeism. So that is where I'm sure in the past, of course, Andhra Pradesh has performed well, this government especially. And I'm sure after this investor summit, we will see a lot of things will actually happen. You know, they will change from just maybe ink on paper to actual buildings on road or industries happening. I think that is very, very important for any summit, any partnership.
Absolutely. I was thinking exactly that about the proof of the pudding being in the eating when I was announcing yesterday about, you know, Andhra Pradesh being number 1 in ease of business for 3 consecutive years. We know that this is not just some ranking, but based on stakeholder feedback. A survey was sent around and investors themselves have rated this state number 1 in ease of doing business.
Absolutely. And the other thing, you know, Deepika, as a build-up to the Global Investor Summit where we are here in this beautiful city of Visakhapatnam, there were a number of road shows that the government did, and I was lucky enough to be a part of almost all of them, in fact. We did a lovely curtain raiser in Delhi, then we did road shows in Bengaluru, I think. We went to Chennai, we went to Bombay, Mumbai, we went to Hyderabad. It's been great to hear from titans of industry from those states, those cities also, and to see, because every city, every state, every industry, they have their own unique requirements. I think that is what is important, and this is where Andhra Pradesh kind of comes through here, helping with them, helping the customization that is required. Because let's be honest, every industry, and in fact every industrial unit in every industry will also be unique and needs its own kind of requirements or kind of partnerships. In fact, yesterday the Honorable Minister Nitin Gadkari ji was also here, and he had made a big announcement about some of the, I think, 6-lane highways that the government of Andhra Pradesh has been, and he has sanctioned it, and it will be turning out soon. So that will also be really, really helpful to the entire state and the industries. Yeah,
talking of the Union Minister, you know, I also recollect that there are 3 industrial corridors being, of the 11 industrial corridors being built by the country, 3 of them are running through this state, and the state, Andhra Pradesh, is the only one to boast, you know, this benefit. that goes a long way. Also road shows, you know, as anchors, we do keep reinforcing the fact that the leader of Andhra Pradesh is a young, dynamic and visionary person. But I think it's not just in the words, but the fact that he did road shows in all these cities, really goes out, puts himself out there and calls for people to come and test what he's promising. You know, it really reflects, that youthful dynamism really reflects in these actions.
Exactly, absolutely, and that makes so much of a difference. There are some of the 13. You know, we keep saying 13 sectors, but what's also important, what I've heard from the government firsthand, is that these are just some of the key sectors that the government has shortlisted. That does not mean that the other sectors that are not included in these 13 will not are not of interest. Those are of equal interest to the government, and they are more than open. If there are people that want to partner with the government in those sectors, they should come forward, talk to the government. The government is more than willing to make it easy for these companies to come, make inroads and grow here, grow along with Andhra Pradesh.
Yes.
The other thing is obviously the coastline. You know, another unique thing that's been pointed out is second longest, 974 kilometers. But they've also said that this is the largest usable coastline, which is why they have so many ports. They have, I believe,
4 under development.
4 under development,
already
6
up and running.
There.
Yeah.
Exactly, which is helping also in the inland seaways. And of course the coastal, and it's becoming, or rather it already is, the gateway to the east, and we obviously know that is very important for the country in its positioning on the global stage.
Yes.
That always makes a big difference to every country. I know we were going on with the MOUs, Deepika. We did some yesterday. In fact, we have more that will be happening very short. Let's tell them, in fact, Deepika, what's lined up, because our audience is eager and is listening. So obviously we have the valedictory session now.
We have the valedictory session. We have, should I tell them the name of the performer?
I think we should. They have been a very patient audience. We
right.
should reward
okay,
them.
So we have a Kuchipudi performance, and we have another performance that I feel like many of you will really be pleasantly surprised. Karsh Kale will be performing for all of us at this venue in broad daylight. It's going to be really wonderful, really fun.
Exactly. So definitely after this valedictory session is when we have these lovely cultural acts that will be closing the day with, closing the summit with. So you definitely do not want to miss that.
Yes.
Deepika, let's talk a little bit about the cultural acts that happened yesterday also. In fact, here in the main hall,
Yamini Reddy performed, and
with Tushar Kalia. Wow,
and
that was
Tushar Kalia,
amazing.
yes. It was a mix of Kuchipudi. It was a fusion dance. It was Kuchipudi, which is the classical art form of the state of Andhra Pradesh, the classical dance form, and there was also a lot of contemporary dance. So that's how it became a fusion number. They had beautiful LED backgrounds, and it was an absolutely spectacular performance by the dancers.
Exactly. There was a lovely laser show also here. I know which one you want to talk about.
So this one, the Kuchipudi and the contemporary dance were here.
Right.
The laser show
So there's a difference for the audience. There was one laser show here with which we revealed the logo in the morning. Right. Beautifully done here.
Oh yes, the laser act in the morning. Yes, yes.
But Deepika, you were privy to, you saw this amazing show yesterday evening. Tell us about that. Tell the audience about that.
So that was the CM's gala dinner hosted by the generous, Chief Minister at MGM Lawns, which is one of the iconic places in Visakhapatnam. It's really a gorgeous location. There's a charming lighthouse right at the back of the venue, and by the side you have the sea, and as you sit there, you can really hear the ebb and flow of the waves.
Right.
And the skyline was absolutely lit up by the laser show. The laser show was storyboarded around the glorious story of Andhra Pradesh.
Right.
Not just business, it talked about culture. Culture is a very important part in promoting business, because unless the people of the state are warm and welcoming and willing to integrate you into their own and themselves with you.
Deepika, what I what you said is really important, but one of the other highlights of that was the drones that they used for that show.
Yes.
So I believe there were about 500 drones that were
Yes.
used to light up the skies of Visakhapatnam, telling the beautiful story, the growth story of Andhra Pradesh.
Yeah.
What we are also trying to do here with the Andhra Pradesh Global Investors Summit. So the unique part about that, it was all through drones.
And
that
it
were
started off with a map of India and then a map of Andhra Pradesh. And, you know, to me it was sort of symbolic of how the growth of Andhra Pradesh is such an integral part, as it's as the country's fastest growing state, such an
Yes.
integral part of the India story.
Exactly. So it was a very unique, it was a one-of-a-kind drone show with someone narrating a story live at that audience.
Yeah, there was a
at the
voiceover
location.
live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, there was the band.
There was a band, and Mrigya and Friends, they were a band that came from Mumbai. They played jazz funk, they played classical ragas. It was a fusion band, and a couple of members of the band, I think the violinist especially, will be performing today with Karsh
Lovely.
Kale as well.
Yeah. No, you know what, Deepika, one important thing that I feel comes out with this, we talk about culture. It's
Yeah.
most important for a holistic society, for
Yes.
a well-rounded society. Arts, culture are important.
Yes.
What I think is also important with what we have done here at the Global Investors Summit, we have the Kuchipudi dances symbolizing the traditions. Yesterday, Yamini Reddy and Tushar Kalia bringing the Kuchipudi dance along with contemporary, showing that fusion, like what you said with Mrigya also, bringing the bringing that fusion of the classical, the traditional. I think that is also important. That is symbolic of what we've been talking about with the government also. They're bringing in the traditional outlook, the importance, but also adding in, showing that, you know, change is the only constant. Evolution is most important, and this government is staying up with the time. In fact, they might just be one step ahead of the changing times, which is so important for any, whether it's a citizen, whether it's an industry, whether it's a business. It is so very important.
Yes, and you know, Telugus particularly are quite used to integrating ourselves with other cultures. You would know that quite a large number, I think about 25% of the IT population in the United
Yes.
States and other
Yes.
parts of the world are Telugus. So yes, that's very integral. Also, I was curious, Sumit, to know, can you tell us more about the roadshows? What exactly happened?
So at the roadshows, what happened was, it was important for the government to talk to the industries that are settled there. Because generally what happens is, I guess, not just in industry or in business, but in life also, we have a restricted view. We are only aware of a limited world around us. This was important for the government to go out to these important locations around the country to talk to them that, hey, do consider Andhra Pradesh as an investment destination of choice, because these are the important things that they have to offer. So whether it is an IT hub, the Silicon Valley of India in Bengaluru, or whether it is the financial capital of India, which is Mumbai, or whether it is the seat of the central government in Delhi, which is a big industry for auto ancillaries, manufacturing, textiles, all of these, it is important to showcase that these, what has made these metropolitan cities as the important hub for these sectors is also available in Andhra Pradesh. And important things, because these are things people would not know. Like, you know, they have abundant power here, abundant water, abundant land. And like what you pointed out earlier, the skilled workforce, that is really important, because that is what makes any business a success.
Absolutely. It's not just about getting investment and generating employment. I think the government of Andhra Pradesh is doing a fantastic job of making sure that they keep their promise in terms of providing that skilled workforce. And it's confidence inducing, if you ask me, for the youth of the state, you know, to know that they're being upskilled to a specific aim.
And because what's required also, Deepika, is that today's world, upskilled is the right word you said, because we have to keep changing our skills, and we need skills that are useful in everyday life. They're not just book skills.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not sure how many of you recollect the AV that was shown
Yeah,
yesterday, the
yeah.
skill development AV, where the skills were varied. It wasn't just about textbooks and banking and IT. There were also women learning how to sew. There was manufacturing. There's so many different skills that are being taught.
Absolutely. And you know, Deepak, coming back to these grounds, which is the Andhra University College of Engineering grounds, obviously a very important location in Visakhapatnam.
Yes.
The idea with this, we've got 5 different hangars where we're doing, this is the main hall, we've got dining, we've got a hall for the media, along with for our VIPs and dignitaries, we've got those breakaway halls. We've got, but that's not just that is here. There's so much else that is happening outside. We've got these amazing short cultural performances that are happening outside, which people can see, be a privy to. There is also so many beautiful installations, and I definitely want to highlight that there's so much greenery outside. And no, I don't mean just the green carpet, but I mean the actual plants that have been put out. They make it look so beautiful. They bring out what Andhra Pradesh stands for. There is interesting installation. I've seen a lot of people been taking selfies with that. Did you manage to get a selfie as well?
Not a selfie. I was lucky enough to, the people offered to take me a nice proper photograph. So yes, I did, particularly near the parrot,
Yeah,
you know, since that was a symbol of the event.
Absolutely. So we are obviously here when the aim of this, just to recap, is that we are having this Global Investors Summit, 3rd and 4th March, and today here at Visakhapatnam, Vizag. The idea is also, today's day 2, day 1 was very exciting. Day 2 is also a great lineup of speakers here who will be sharing their insights. It's always good, you know, again, Deepika, as they say in English, you know, there's that phrase that says to hear it from the horse's mouth. So it's always good to hear what these industry titans have to, because, you know, again, they are not just